Well, George Phippen was a local artist. He was a painter and sculptor of themes of the American West. From a very young age, he could be found creating art. He would fill the chalkboards of his one-room schoolhouse with pictures of cattle drives. Unfortunately, George didn't get to live a very long life. He was only 50 years old when he passed away in 1966, but he created a huge body of artwork, probably more than 3,000 different pieces. After he passed, his friends and family were all so enamored by him and his memory that they wanted to create an institution for the preservation and promotion of Western art in his name. And about 1974, they started the George Phippen Memorial Art Show and Sale in Prescott here on the courthouse. Western artists would come from all over to sell their artwork here. And after about 10 years of running that show, the proceeds, along with support from others in the community, they were able to establish the Phippen Museum in 1984. We opened our doors in October. We still have a lot of great artists that come from all over the country, well-established artists along with up-and-comers. And it's just a really great experience on the courthouse square. It has a lot of little different events all involved with the show. We have a couple of quick draw challenges. We do a live art auction. We have several different events going on at the same time. Here at the museum, we have the miniature masterpiece show and sale that'll be held in our lower level gallery. And during that Memorial Day weekend, we always have free admission during the entire weekend. There are obviously bigger shows in the country. What I hear from most of the artists that attend our show is that it has a more hometown feel to it. There's a lot more camaraderie. It really is a good opportunity for the artists to all mix, look at each other's pieces, and be inspired. But we have 5 permanent exhibits here at the museum, a heritage gallery. We also have 3 galleries that we have rotating exhibits through the year. And along with that, lots of different annual events. Our Fall Gathering Barbecue in September. Our Hold Your Horses is an annual exhibition focused totally on the art of the horse. So there's always a lot of things going on at the Phippen Museum. But also we have a collection of artwork by Solon Borglum. He was the quieter brother of Borglum, who created the monument, Mount Rushmore. But he was no less successful in his artwork. He traveled through Europe and was very well received overseas. Solon Borglum came to us through the Prescott Area Art Trust. Back in the 70s, the Art Trust learned that some of Borglum's pieces were becoming available back east. Some folks with the trust traveled back east, collected up a bunch of items, including pieces from his studio, and then brought them back to Prescott. They sat kind of idle for years and years. There wasn't really a great venue for them. So once the Phippen Museum expanded and we had some more room, it was a natural fit. So the Borglum Collection lives here at the Phippen right now, and I'm told it's one of the most extensive collections of his work anywhere in the country. So we're very proud of that. In the same kind of light as George, he did get to live a very long life. So along with that, we have Rayce Swanson Gallery. He was a local artist that was very successful, and he passed away, I believe, 2007. But it's very interesting that all 3 of these characters kind of share the same kind of characteristics, kind of soft-spoken, mild-mannered, but very inspiring to those around them. And they all passed away relatively early in their life. Obviously, none of this would be possible without our volunteers. There's obviously a lot of different ways that folks in the community help us out. Sponsorships for our exhibits and events. We have the volunteers that are so vital to what we do, and then membership as well, just those folks that want to come in on a regular basis with their family and see what new things are offered here. The Phippen Museum membership gives you a discount in the museum store. We are a nonprofit organization, so there's never a tax on the items that you purchase, so there's an incentive there as well. At a time when most nonprofit organizations were scaling back and cutting staff, really minimizing their efforts, the Phippen Museum had such generous support from the community that we were able to do an expansion project here at the museum. We've just leveled an area out back that we're going to look at trying to put in an outdoor pavilion, so we can hold outdoor events here at the museum as well. You can rent the entire museum or just the lower level, so there is definitely ideas for growth here at the Phippen Museum. I think the major barrier to growth for the Phippen Museum is getting folks to actually come inside the museum. I've always thought that the Phippen Museum pretty much sells itself, that I don't really have to tell you why the museum's important if I can get you to step inside the door. It's such a home for history and heritage and art in this area. I mean, right around here, you can't hardly move without bumping into the history of the West. This is arguably one of the nicest spots for a Western museum, I think, anywhere in Arizona and perhaps the nation. The Phippen Museum does seem like a hidden gem in the granite dells that I'm hoping people will come out and discover more.